Jacob Alicia, Jared Washone, Raymond Wimmer, Matthew Legatt, Gordon Spain, Stephen James, Joe Houston, Gary Smoke, Pete Hart, Ricky Mendonça, ready to do battle here at Talladega, the biggest race of their fucking lives. Ladies and gentlemen, we are racing in the Talladega Derby. The first lap begins here at Talladega. Two lines. They're going to try to do their best to keep control and not fall back. But for the majority of the time, they'll stay even. Jared Washone, part-timer here in PALracing. He was given a waiver to run tonight. He typically doesn't meet the requirements, but after running super clean in his two starts, including a win at Bristol off of immaculate strategy, he will be able to complete 85 laps if he chooses to do so. He came out and registered, and now he drops down to the bottom. And he is sitting in that Flipper Win Motorsports call with Pete Hart, Eric Gonzalez, and Aiden Gould. That's a really good outfit to fit into. And down the back straightaway, we complete the first lap. Matthew Legatt to the lead. Two lines of racing at the moment. The winner of this race can punch their ticket into the PALracing All-Star race next week. Now what that means is a driver who is full-time in PALracing that hasn't already punched their ticket to the All-Star race, if they win this event, they come home with $100, but next week they'll race for 100, 150. Douglas Henry into teammate Joe Houston. Doug upside down. There's a wreck on the front straightaway. Multiple cars involved. Oh no, I saw Douglas Henry get into Joe Houston. Ronnie Lane, Jason Woldridge. Douglas Henry is still on his side, stuck on the front straightaway. What has happened? Aiden Gould involved. Joe Houston's car may be killed. Oh no, what happens? Oh, Doug is underneath Ricky Mendonça, and Mendonca's kind of coming down the track, and it kind of hooks him. Oh, no. That might have been what happened. One more time at the replay. Yes, Mendonca's coming down across the nose of Douglas Henry. Doug was kind of down there anyways. I don't know if he was looking for a block. Ethan Walker nowhere to go. Oh, no. I'm going to start lap number 14. So Jacob Blakely jump out of line. Not sure what happened. Maybe he missed a gear, but he gets back in line. We're going to slowly get back up to speed. Jared Washone, followed by Raymond Wimmer, and immediately everybody blended down to the bottom. Not much of a top line left. Spencer Burton, Stephen James still up there, just on the right side of your screen. And obviously still a lot of racing to go, as we look to about only have 20 cars left actively under speed here in this pack. But right now, Matthew Legatt, with help of new teammate for this season, Gary Smoke, just about out ahead. Spencer Burton drops to the bottom, so they're going to take that lead away from Jared Washone. Here comes Jordan Mary on the outside in that cow car. And now the outside line has formed with new guys in it. Raymond Wimmer, Greg Jody went to the back of the bottom line, and Alicia will jump up there as well. And we have heavy hitters taken out of this race, you being one of them. Gordon Spain led a lot of laps last season. Douglas Henry seems to be always one of the favorites. Aaron Warren is a guy everybody helps and gets to the front. He's always a factor. He is a good super speedway driver. And so now it narrows it down to you got Jacob Alicia out there. I mean, Aiden is damaged. I wouldn't consider him a factor at the latest. Greg Jodiet's out there, Pete Tart, Stephen James, Matthew Leggett. There are some legendary names that, because some of the bigger guys are quote-unquote out of the way, they could go out there and get some their first crown jewel race and then some chasing the Talladega Derby. You know, Jacob Alicia, this is his 5th attempt to do so. Raymond Wimmer, Greg Jodiet, same exact thing. So a lot of storylines out there tonight. For the most part, enough teammates for each driver to link up with somebody, make something happen. And it looks like we are going to get into green flag pit stops, Joe. I want you to explain to the audience how important it is as green flag pit stops will happen. How important is it to have a clean stop? Oh, Raymond Wimmer had to miss it.
Looks like Jacob maybe missed this entry as well.
Jacob Blakely
yeah,
or
it's
Jacob
tough.
Alicia?
Alicia, he was right on the outside. I don't know if maybe he got back down. He was in the grass for just a split second. Hopefully he got back down, but I was worried about pit stops with the new wheel, the new brakes and stuff. That's oh, Pete missed his stop a little bit on his stall. We'll see if he gets back out in time to keep the draft.
Let's see here, Raymond Wimmer, he's going to go by. Alicia locking it up. Ooh, oh, I think that might
Pete's
be a
gonna
penalty.
hang on barely. Oh yeah, he must have had a penalty.
Here comes Luke
Dang,
Chadwick.
you hate to
He
see
will
that for
enter
Jacob.
pit road. Luke Chadwick did not pit with anybody. Locks it up. Was he speeding? I don't know. He had Ronnie Lane with him. And then here comes Raymond Wimmer. Oh, that's going to suck. That's really going to put him off the pace.
This is going to break everything up.
Stephen James seems to be the top beneficiary. Jordan Marion behind him. Then it's Matthew Leggett, Greg Jodiet, Jared was shown, Gary Smoke, Spencer Burton. That's not a lot of cars to be in the front pack. Just behind them, Eric Gonzalez, Mike Hasty. They're practically all by themselves. And I think further behind, Brandon Meyer and Pop-Tart Pete. That's a lot of shakeup and a lot of breakup. Here comes Luke Chadwick exiting pit road. He's going to be slow. They're going to catch him fast, but I think he'll still be able to blend. So Luke Chadwick having to pit solo with Ronnie Lane. Ronnie Lane still one lap down. I think Luke's going to catch a break here.
Yeah, way to go, Luke. Looks like he was the only guy in that second group, and maybe Ronnie, I guess, put a lap down to stay with the lead pack. Man, what a shakeup.
So Matthew Leggett will take your lead. Greg Jodiet follows. Just like last season, those pair in the final pack. And yeah, we still have one more pit stop, Joe. Oh, no! Jordan Marion just got to Luke Chadwick. Luke Chadwick spinning in the infield. He had to save it. Jordan Marion came down and clipped the 88. Oh, we were just talking good about Luke. That is heartbreaking right there. Oh, no.
It has the feel of, you just look at this, it looks like there's no way anything interesting happens. We just have these 5 get to the next pit stop, maybe lose another guy. There's no way there could be another caution. But I don't know, man. We got another group they're about to catch. We got Alfaro, who says he joined late and he's clean, so he'll be interesting. And you got Jacob, who had the penalty. You got both Jacobs. I mean, you never know. Something could still happen. I mean, you get to the end of this thing, one bad move, you get a caution, suddenly you got 10 more cars in it, and then we've got all hell breaking loose at the end again. So, I mean, it's definitely not going to be the most thrilling middle section of this race, but it ain't over yet. We didn't script the first half. We got the second half still to come. Pick in, and I think everybody's kind of rooting for. He's got a great personality as well. He's one of the guys that's the treasure to the league.
Eric Gonzalez, a bad push might have happened, but there's no cars around, so it doesn't even bring out the yellow. We have a replay. Let's take a look at it, Joe. Eric was pushing Pete. Jordan Marion behind. Eric works his way up in the groove. Jordan Marion tries to follow, and it will spin Eric Gonzalez. Really nice save, but unfortunate to see, and that was that second pack that was trying to catch, so he is really off of it now. Alfaro probably doesn't really care what happens here. Blakely and Alicia want to stay on the lead lap. So they'll probably get to the rear end of this line as the leaders will drive around the Jacobs.
Yeah, hopefully those guys fight for it. Maybe that either slows this group down a little bit, or at least gives us some interesting action to watch up front as they try and stay on the lead lap.
Doesn't look like that's the effort. I think they're going to let that pack pass and get immediately in line, which is bad news for everybody else. Jacob on the nose, and Jacob gets loose. That was a little hairy. I mean, the leaders on the outside line probably winced. Alicia kind of got turned right into the door of was shown. Oh, that would have been scary. That was a pucker
We don't need
factor.
any more leaders. Yeah, we don't need any more leaders getting taken out. But
Oh,
I hope
wow.
they keep it interesting. Now, are the 81 and 17 in the same call here?
So Jared was shown as Flipper Win Motorsport. Matthew Legatt, Gary Smoke, Suncoast. So although LGR Alliance, remember, Jared was shown as not a friend of, well, LGR in terms of Legatt and Gould Racing. That's a Pete Tart associate. He's in Pete Tart's call with Aiden Gould, Eric Gonzalez. Pete Tart and Michael Alfaro rejoins his team. So do they work together? I'm not sure. If I'm Legatt, I take Gary Smoke, and if Stephen James wants to go with me, he races in my league from, Matthew Legatt perspective, races in my league since day one. I like Stephen. I know him. Matt likes Greg, but he has to pass somebody. So I think you're going to see a Legatt, Gary Smoke, teammates, alliance with Stephen James. Of course, they got Jacob Blakely back there, teammate with Stephen James to help push. You talked about that lap down car helping push if needed. They're going to try to take advantage of Greg, Jodiet, and Jared was shown. And maybe Greg and Jared, they might read that. And maybe that's not even the case. We don't know what's going to happen. But the pit window has been open for a while. The question is, when do they hit pit road? We could see it this time by, Joe.
They should have the fuel to go at least another 10 laps or so, maybe 7 laps. So, I mean, but they're definitely all thinking about it. I mean, even we saw it before the first pit stop. They all got in line at least 2, 3, 4 laps before they knew they needed to pit. It's definitely top of mind right now. When is it going to happen? And how can I put myself in position to... Oh, here we go. No, you're right. You're right.
I can read the field. I've done this a time or two. So here come all the lead lap guys. Everybody makes it. Well, that's Spencer Burton. He'll spin it. He was 1 lap down at the time. That sucks to see. But your top 5 make it with some help from the lap down car of Jacob Blakely. So Greg Jodiet, Matthew Legatt, Gary Smoke, Stephen James, Jared was shown. Your top 5 are on pit road. Matthew Legatt, Greg Jodiet, Stephen James, Gary Smoke, Jared was shown. All make it out cleanly. Your top 5, stay your top 5. Now Anthony Ely, Luke Chadwick, they will go by. They still have to pit. Eric Gonzalez in tow. So they're going to keep that in mind. The leaders are right behind them, and, well, they're going to lose the position and hopefully not lose a lap, but they'll have to pit soon. There's Raymond Wimmer.
Is Jared going to keep up? He's barely hanging on to the draft. I don't know. He might lose it.
I'm worried about Gary, too. Gary should be good. I think on the straightaways, Jared gets a little bit. Is there anybody behind Jared? Not really. Nobody that's going to catch him.
Oh, it's close.
By the way, Anthony Ely, Eric Gonzalez, Luke Chadwick, Raymond Wimmer all hit pit road. I think Jared was shown has lost this draft. So Matthew Legatt leads. Next time by, 15 laps to go. They can make it to the end on fuel. Greg Jodiet second. Stephen James third. Gary Smoke fourth. Matthew Legatt, Gary Smoke are teammates. Or do I stay in line and grab a free position? Because Stephen knows Gary's not going to move. There's a smoke.
Whoa.
There's a spun Anthony Ely. Wow. Even though he was off the racing surface, he got spun around, and Eric Gonzalez was involved again. Well, that just changed everything, didn't it?
Yep, it sure did. Now we've got a very interesting finish ahead of us.
Eric Gonzalez pushing Anthony Ely. Luke Shadwick behind him, and he is all over the bumper of Anthony and gets him loose, dumps him. And so Anthony's off the racing surface. Hold the brake. Get off the racing surface. And then there are the leaders.
Oh boy.
Green flag is up. Green flag is out at the start-finish line. We're going to be back racing. We got to make it to lap 85 to draw the white flag. And it's probably going to be balls to the wall from there. But can we keep it green now? Matthew Legatt stays out ahead of Stephen James and Greg Jodia. Greg on that top line doesn't have a lot of help. They're all moving and back there in the back, most of them. Lap down cars. The leaderboard doesn't get fixed here in a few laps. I will manually reset it. We should keep who we know is a lap down and who's not. Jordan Marion jumps to the bottom. Everybody has left that top line, and it's been a bottom-dominant race at the beginning. That will happen again. Under 10 laps to go.
Man, you know, Steven is just, he hasn't had the win in Frontier, you said. He hasn't had the win in PAL. He's right there in second. It's exactly where you need to be to make this thing happen. He's got to be feeling like he's right where he needs to be to do something, but who's going to make the move? Here comes another run from the second line, all these lap down cars, and is that Luke? He's up there too. Can he make something happen?
Yeah, but he's sitting behind two lap down guys. Like, what are you supposed to do in that situation? Nothing's doing, and Stephen James is not backing up to Jared Washone. He's staying on the rear bumper of Matthew Legatt. Ladies and gentlemen, we've made it to the white flag. No matter what, the race will end under green flag conditions. We will be racing back to the checkered. Has Matthew Legatt finally done it? Can Greg Jodian go back-to-back? Because he looks to the outside. He has help from Pete Tart. Anthony Ely behind him, a lap down. Can they get anywhere? Greg off the nose of Pete, loses it. He might even be out of it. He drops back, and it's a 3-car breakaway. Steven, look to the outside of Matthew Legatt. Nothing doing. Jared Washone, he wants to spoil the show. He'll go anywhere he can. He looks to the middle. Steven will close that lane off. Matthew Legatt leading. Can you believe it? Through turns 3 and 4. Will we see another run come from the top lane? Can Jared Washone make something happen? Will Stephen James stay with this teammate? Here we go. Through the front stretch tri-oval. We got to get back to the start-finish line. Can you believe it? Matthew Legatt, an all-star, and now a Talladega Derby champion.
Hell yeah.
Steven, I love you.
Good job, Matt.
Let's go. Fuck. Finally. Let's go.
Fuck. I went all the way back to the...
That was less of a celebration and more of a sigh of relief from Matthew Legatt. He says, thank you, Stephen James. I love you. Wow, what a run. Legatt wins the Talladega Derby, Joe.
Man, he really does owe Steven one there. I thought for sure we'd see him pull out of line and we'd have a side-by-side finish, but the teammates got it done.
And here comes Aiden Gould to congratulate him. Aiden, no choice but to end the race 8 laps down. Oh, Luke Shadwick, no! Luke Shadwick, he just wrecked the winner and interrupts the front stretch celebration. The Legatt car is killed. Oh, no, that's, Joe, that's like the #1 covenant rule of PAL. You can't do that. I know
Looks
you're
like
trying
he's
to
got enough
congratulate
power
him.
left.
And he'll burn it down to the front straightaway. Stephen James second, Jared Washone third, Jordan Marion fourth, Luke Shadwick fifth, Pete Tart sixth, Greg Jodian 7th, Jacob Licia 8th, Brandon Meyer 9th, Mike Hasty rounds out the top 10. Matthew Legatt has done it, and I think this is a sigh of relief for you and your career, Matt. You get the crown jewel victory. It comes at Talladega. Everybody knows you're a super speedway guy. Did this race have you on nails like it did me?
How about them burnouts with a blown engine? Holy shit, dude. I don't I'm kind of speechless, honestly. Getting to the line there, I thought for sure Steven was going to make the move. I was waiting for it. He just pushed me there like a amazing teammate. So, credit the win to him. Great pushing. Want to thank Gordon for spotting me there all the way to the end, even after being wrecked out of the race on the first caution. I'm just grateful to have such great teammates around me.
That is a very big thing to highlight. A teammate wrecking out at the beginning, sticking around just as much as Joe wrecking out the beginning, stuck around with me up in the booth. Legat, I joked with you because you wanted to joke with me. You said, "What if I win into the All-Star race and just won it again?" I said, I said the only way I wouldn't be pissed off is if you won tonight. And well, Matt, you have my blessing. You can go win the All-Star race next week if you want to.
I guess I got to bring the All-Star paint scheme back out, don't I?
I think you absolutely have to, Matt. Any last words here to comment on this race win?
Sad to see Joe up here on the booth and not on track. He was my pick for tonight. Wish I could have raced it out with him too. Shout out all the guys that, we worked together as a great team tonight. Flipper win. Legendary as an alliance. My buddies at Suncoast. Just grateful to be here in PAL and grateful to be back in Victory Lane.
Awesome to see it. Matt, congratulations.
True PAL legend, man.
Yes, Joe gives you that sticker. Winner
Appreciate
of the
it.
5th running of the Talladega Derby, Matthew Liggett.
Thank you, guys.